All right, hi everyone. It is JP News night. JP's on a slightly different schedule from Global. As such, means I get to space out my videos, and I know what you guys are all here for. You're all here for the rumors, right? The rumor mill. We talked about FF7 Rebirth lately. We've talked about Ever Crisis, and hey, you know what? I'll even give it to you first tonight. The leaks and supposed rumors. Interestingly, Jeff Grubb, who is one of the leakers who rumor mill, loves saying some stuff. I mean, the past few days we've talked about Tactics Remasters getting some buzz and some tweets about it. Rebirth is getting some tweets about it. What else? Ever Crisis's playlist has been updated. All of these things could mean that we're going to see trailers for all of these things soon. And interestingly, like the NVIDIA leak coming back again, Final Fantasy IX Remake is real and it's really happening. So, all right, minor thing tonight. Also, apparently there's a bunch of Persona rumors to do around the Xbox showcase, as well as the, what else? There's stuff with potentially Persona 5, a Persona 3 remake, and that's all really exciting too for us RPG fans. But hey, you're here to hear about Wotv news, so let's just cut the rumors for now, let them simmer, let them cook, and let's talk about what's going on this week. So first off, I guess slight spoiler because, you know, the picture has maybe some stuff, but without context, it's hard to know, right? And we don't give you context here. 333 update for the story is coming, and yeah, it's going to be a story update with Lapis to it. So yay, thumbs up to that. All right, next up, Raid Revival will be coming back. Chance to get some old pieces of equipment. Looks like we got this time an ice, water, dark, and lightning. So good choices for people to potentially run some different stuff, get some cards, get some equipment maybe that they missed. Of course, with Wave Battle offering such great equipment, it can devalue a little bit of the way that the raids are done recently. So guess we'll just see whether or not this raid revival is worth it, but shuffle on the bosses. Next up, Porcelain Tower is coming back, and it is time for, wait for it, where is it? The Ice Ring floors. So recently, as in months ago, JP ended up getting the Thunder floors to basically increase the Thunder Elemental Ring to a +1 version, and now we are looking at the Ice Ring getting the exact same. From what I remember, it wasn't the most impossible thing, and these floors to upgrade the ring itself are separate from the main tower. So, you know, it's an event to play, and there you go. Next, Lapis refreshes, more information about the tower, and of course, the regular tower is coming back, so people who missed and haven't completed that, or potentially looking to farm it, well, good news. You will have a chance to do that as well. And last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about this VC. And this VC is unfortunately, I'm going to say probably a bit of a disappointment, but let's qualify that statement. So for this vision card, what we are essentially looking at, it is equipable, of course, to fist-based characters, which was always going to be the expected thing because it is the, you know, the new Alaya card. It is also for axes, spears, and gloves. Now, before we discuss it, let's talk about what you get. So first off, slash attack resistance up, range attack resistance up, and maxing out the VC will give acquired AP acquisition up. Now, as for the specific unit in question, attack up and accuracy up are given to the bestowed character. So, this VC, honestly, I'd say that this is primarily looking to be a fairly sub equipable VC, and I would not say that it is going to be a very interesting primary equip VC. For the very, very clear reason that, well, let's start with the bestowed effects. The bestowed effects is attack up and accuracy up. Neither of those things are particularly interesting. Alaya, specifically, who's the unit that this is VC is kind of made for, already has access to a massive amount of accuracy. As a matter of fact, for people who are concerned about the fact that she doesn't have a 100% hit chance ability, don't. With the combinations of equipment that are already out there, I think Peachin already did a build of a 194 accuracy, which, whether you're Yuffie or Elena, it doesn't really matter. Also, with the access to reaction block from specific VCs and potentially, trust runes, whatever. There's almost no way that accuracy can survive against Bridal Alaya. Bridal Alaya's teams are also incredibly good against dark. They're incredibly good against light. They're incredibly good against multiple different elements. So attack up and accuracy up is not necessarily what Alaya wants. Now, it could be that the stats on this VC will be a major make or break, but let's talk about the party. First off, slash attack resistance is fine, but if you don't have a way of protecting that slash attack resistance, it's not necessarily the best thing ever. Range attack as well, while it is a thing on JP, it's not necessarily the thing you have to be worrying about with some of the top teams out there. So you look at the two things that you're kind of getting off this VC, and it's defensive, but it's probably not enough to make a difference in some cases, because you look at what Slash is doing already and running so much Slash resistance penetration, this just isn't that interesting. As for acquired AP acquisition up, from what I've been seeing with my own Alaya, who is pre-140, AP acquisition is not necessarily a problem if she's running her main glove. Even if you just throw bells on her, it's fine either way. AP acquisition isn't particularly her strong suit naturally, without building her a specific way. But I don't know, AP acquisition just doesn't feel necessary in this case for how good she is and how effective it is. So then let's ask, what would this VC need to really be a slam dunk? Essentially, really one of the things that it would kind of need is strike resistance penetration. If it had that, this VC would be an insta snap buy and placed on main, and would probably put strike well and truly over the top to be actually a completely danger-filled team to go in PvP. Such as it is, you look at the potentials for crossovers here, and spears just aren't in a particularly interesting place. Gloves don't really have enough crossover synergy with fists to really be worth it. And as for axes, there's only one axe unit in the game who is about to come out on Globe, who I think might even be the only consideration point is, and then this kind of pulls this back to being a thunder elemental VC, but you're looking at Veiga, Bridal Alaya, and Alphonse, and that's essentially it. I don't think that there's a lot of different units to talk about with this. So, I guess the way I'm looking at this VC right now, with what is particularly prominent and powerful in these jobs, I look at it as either a strike multi-elemental job VC, or I look at it as a potential lightning elemental VC, because ignore the other elements for a second. Just looking at this is a defensive card, and for lightning, there isn't really too terribly much that I would say is a spear isn't much of a consideration at all, except for maybe the Select a Quest unit, and that isn't really there at this point. Um, in looking at gloves, I mean, like Ibarra, for instance, is not. And if not, you're crossing over into multi-elements, and you're losing a lot of synergy, which already makes BAlaya so good. So yeah, I don't think that there's anything for spears or gloves in the lightning element, which kind of puts you on axes and fists. And we've already talked about the one team that is interesting there, and in my opinion, I still like the lightning BAlaya Alphonse combo more than Veiga, because it has higher range and can just effectively start wailing on enemies from a greater, safer distance. Uh, and then you look at it just in terms of fists, and you're getting like resistance and acquired AP and attack and accuracy. And those are all fine, but again, it feels fairly like a sub VC. Nothing here feels incredible, like it's really pushing anything. It just could potentially be good defensive if it's good numbers. I think that, like, at the end of the day here, like, even looking at crossover elements, with lightning, you're essentially crossing over with something like this, in which case you're looking at the fire jobs, which again, fire axes, no. Fire spears, someone correct me if I missed one. Fire gloves, Kefka, maybe, but gloves are already just magic, and it already feels like you're just losing optimal. And in terms of this, sure, I guess technically you could see like Raldor, but you kind of could do that already with better fist VCs, so probably not necessarily worth running this when you can just run the lightning team and get the full advantage. And then you look at potentially fire and wind. Or sorry, that's wrong. I was thinking of what's the other one? Dark Ramu. Here, which is primarily a magic card, and again, not really benefiting one of the best units. You're just kind of making that composition weaker. Like, this VC just doesn't work with what currently feels like a really good lightning team. And in terms of like what it would bring to a strike team, I guess AP acquisition is fine, but again, probably a sub VC just because the resistances and everything feel kind of hollow from my point of view. So there you go. Oh, we got some news while I've been blabbering. Take a peek. Something got updated, but I'm not going to figure it out. So anyway, the VC is a permanent VC. It's not a limited time one, so it's probably better just to save your resources for a potentially more interesting vision card or an Esper combination or something. BAlaya is doing just fine, I want to say. Yesterday on the first day arena, climbed very easily. Like, let me just get the results here. To like top 900 with 10 wins in the bag. And of course, choosing some of the not necessarily like most powerful teams, because obviously is not completely optimal. The lightning team is not lightning. Oh yeah, there it is. I was running this team and having really strong results from it, and you know, I think it's just doing particularly very well. And also at top 900, there's just a boatload of Thunder Elemental teams, which are mostly the same story. See if I can connect into one. Hey, look, Ico, let's show it off really quickly. See, this was the other composition that might be plausible. You look at this, and again, hey, you know what? Might be good enough. I still like lightning. I like lightning. I'm gonna be biased on that, but we'll see if anyone else really posts information about that being super good. But yeah, BAlaya is everywhere right now. She's doing just fine, so no real need to worry about her not getting a super great VC. Because Strike's been getting great VCs for the last little bit, and same with Thunder, and it really is just payoff time for that without needing necessarily this. But I'll keep an eye on it and see if my opinion changes after the VC comes out and we see precisely what it looks like. And yes, we'll be doing some BAlaya arena stuff very soon, but not in this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.